Hello. Welcome to Curie's Orientation 2020. My name is Ms. Velez, and I am one of 9 counselors presenting to you today. Please be patient with me as we move forward, as this is something new for me, and this new school year will be something new for all of us as well. So we will learn to be patient with each other. Just wanted to start off with a quote by our school's founder's name, Marie Curie, a famous scientist and 2-time Nobel Prize winner. Nothing in life is to be feared. It is only to be understood. Now is the time to understand more so that we may fear less. I'm here to welcome you to a unique school year. Classes begin Tuesday, September 8th, and you will follow a full schedule of 7 classes and 1 lunch. Each period is 50 minutes, and you will have a 5-minute passing period as well. And attendance and grades will be taken along with following the CPS calendar, which you can click on the link below and it will open up. And we will go through important dates soon. Just wanted to talk about how we will be using our best judgment this year to work with the schedule, with teachers, with students. We care about the needs of different students, and we'll be presenting different supports and different programs that are here to support students and staff as well. Want to talk about, give you some tidbits here and there as we go along, since to some of you, Curie may be a new school for you as a transfer student, freshman, or a new student to this country. So there are 3,000 students at Curie High School, and there are about 300 staff members. So any given day, there are about 3,300 students, or people, sorry, at Curie High School. Who are these people? So they could be, it could be someone that lives in the community, which also happens to work at Curie. So a neighbor, could be a social worker, school psychologist. You could find a community member, you could find a nurse, you could find a therapist or counselor at Curie High School, dean of students. You can also find alumni at Curie High School working at Curie. What is alumni? For those who don't know, alumni are students who went to Curie and graduated and now are working at Curie High School. So very exciting people at Curie High School. Want to talk about the Curie way. So these are different beliefs and values that we have at Curie, and we hope that all students embody throughout the 4 years at Curie High School. So it's be respectful, open-minded, hardworking, determined, and responsible. And you will see this around the building, posters, and it will come up in your classroom as well. So be on the lookout. So what are your responsibilities this year? Besides showing up to class, when you are in class virtually, respect your classmates, study, do your best always to learn and master the required content. So what might your day look like virtually? As you can see here, we see a student working at a table with their laptop and books in the background. And like I mentioned before, you will be following a full day schedule, which is 7 classes a day, and you will start either first period, which is 7:30, or second period, which is 8:25. And you will have a lunch and breaks, and you will have time during class to work on assignments or group work, or maybe I'm sure you probably will still have tests and quizzes as well. Preparing your home space. So I bring this up because this is something I am also working on. Earlier this year when we started remote learning, it was so abrupt. I didn't really have time to fix up a space for myself, but this week I am working on preparing my space. So something I'm doing is putting a desk right by the window because I really like natural light, and it helps me to focus, sometimes to see when I have natural light. So if that's an option for you, that would be something that you could do that could help your workspace or your motivation. Make sure you have all your materials you need, access to maybe an outlet for your laptop or iPad or computer, pens, pencils, calculator, art supplies or music supplies if needed. So just something to start thinking about this week for September 8th is your physical space. Where will you be? What will it look like? What do you want it to sort of feel like? If you could get it ready now, please do so. Obviously, coming prepared to class is important. Having your books, laptop, different materials you need, so your teacher and you can work quickly and efficiently. At the beginning of class or sometimes prior to class, if you could read your emails, because there's always new updates every day. There's changes happening. There's maybe new assignments or different things coming up every day. So emails. Your counselor will be emailing you. Your teachers will be emailing you. Principal will be sending emails as well. And it can be overstimulating or overwhelming as well. And so if that is something that happens or bothers you, or that sometimes you don't read emails because there's just too many coming in at once, that's where I would suggest, and the icon of the journal is to maybe write things down. And that is something that I also do as well. So I write things down that I know I need to not forget or to get lost in a pile of emails. Or in Google, in your email, there is a star which allows you to click on it and it becomes a yellow star. And then all those emails are saved in a list where you can access later in a folder of just emails that were starred. And I usually do that for emails that I feel are important or have a lot of attachments in it that I might want to come back to, or I know is important, but right now I cannot give it the time that I want. So that is 2 or 3 tidbits in one. I also write things down in my, like a notebook or an agenda. And then I like to cross things off once I'm finished with them. So it gives me a satisfaction that I completed something or a goal was met. And then having questions for your teacher. If you have any the night before, you can write them down and then ask your teacher at the beginning of class. So when the teacher says, do you have questions? You're ready to go, because sometimes you might have had a question, but if you didn't write it down, you forgot. I wanted to talk about our counseling team, and I do have a link here that if you could click on, you can look at it and find out more about the counseling team. Like I said, we have 9 counselors. Every student is in a division, and then that division is assigned to a counselor. And what does the counselor do? That is a question we get or hear from everyone. And we do lots of different things, such as we do group counseling, we do one-on-one counseling, meeting with a student in our office, or in this case, in our virtual office. Like, we can do meetings, set up meetings on the calendar where we can talk one-on-one about whether you're having an issue with class, maybe you're having issues at home, maybe you're having issues with yourself, you feel a tight. That's what I love about counseling, is because it gives you the opportunity to hear, so someone to hear you or see things that you don't see, or present sort of like a mirror to the face saying, hey, maybe you don't see these things about yourself, but I see this as I'm watching or hearing you speak, or the way you react. There's a pattern here. There's a pattern of these things happening, or so those are things we can talk through and work through together. We also walk into your classrooms and we present to the classrooms about certain things like time management, how to study, understanding your transcript. What is a grade point average? Different careers, different pathways after high school. What can I do after high school? How do I get there? Scholarships. Sometimes just talking simple things as parent meetings. One-on-one parent meetings happen all the time. So parents, feel free to reach out to us with any questions, comments, or concerns, or not only parents, family members, aunts, uncles. We also register new students. So if you're a new student and you're like, who's my counselor? You can reach out, and it should pop up on your Aspen file. But if you don't know, you can always ask your teacher, and then they can help answer those questions, and then get you to us. Also on the CPS or Curious CPS page, there is a page for all the counselors or staff names where you can look us up, and then our email will pop up, and you can send us an email from the Curie website, and it will come straight to our email as well. So we look forward to meeting all our students. Really important for you to get to know your counselor and develop a relationship. So next we're going to go into, so I sort of spoke about all these things already, and then I just wanted to mention we also have a college coach, Mr. Garcia, and he mainly works with juniors and seniors, but he can work with freshmen and sophomores as well, and he helps students fill out college applications, financial aid applications, and also does lessons in the classroom as well. And he's a really awesome resource and person to talk to. So check out Mr. Garcia in room 270. I'm going to go over the graduation requirements, so that way you know what you need to do in order to graduate in 4 years. So for English, you need 4 years, sorry. I'm looking straight at math. Math is 3 years. Social studies is 3 years, which include a civics class. So that's a new sort of requirement. So I just want to make sure you are aware of it. Science is 3 years as well, and it is chemistry, physics, and biology. World language is 2 years, and it is Spanish, French, and Mandarin are your options, and you have to take the same language for 2 years in order to graduate, to meet the graduation requirement. Fine arts, which is art or music, and there's so many different choices within that, but our classes tend to fill up quickly, so those are just another tidbit of information. As well as physical education or JROTC. And then we're going to talk about some graduation requirements that are not classes, but take part in classes. So one is 2 service learning projects, and that will take place now in class with the teacher. Junior year, you'll have to take the SAT, which is an entrance exam to colleges and universities. It usually takes place in April at school. Only juniors come into the building that day and take this about 3 to 4, maybe 5-hour test. So something to think about. Driver's ed is in 10th grade during your gym class or after school if you're in JROTC, and there is a test and there is a class, and you have to pass both in order to meet the requirement. Constitution is in 10th grade and is in a history class, US history class, and as well you have to pass the class and the test. If you have questions about those 2 things I just said, just feel free to ask any of your counselors or your teacher when you're in the class with them. And then a financial literacy exam as well, and then Learn, Plan, Succeed is a new graduation requirement, and I will get into that a little bit later. Okay, I'm going to go year by year, so that way every year sort of knows what's expected of you, what's coming for parents, to look at what the 4 years important dates, important things to look out for in order to prepare. And of course, if you have any questions about this, let us know. So for seniors, our seniors, class of 2021, welcome to your final year. You should at this point have 20 to 21 credits to be considered in good standing. By October 1st, which is just over a month from now, the application for FAFSA opens up. And that is a graduation requirement to complete for all seniors, for eligible seniors. And we like everyone to have completed the FAFSA by December of 2020. This year, you will need various pieces of information, and we will go into that later on as we probably enter your class, your virtual classroom, and Mr. Garcia will be able to help with that as well as Gear Up and Trio, and I'll go into what those programs are in just a bit. So by December as well, we would like you to apply for three colleges or universities. One of those could be the Chicago Community Colleges, and there are 6 campuses, but sometimes a student will think, oh, I applied to 3 community colleges, I've met my requirement. So that would only count as one because it's one school. It's technically one entity, but has different locations. And then you should check in with your counselor, seniors especially, for all these sort of different pieces have lots of layers within them. It's not just one thing and then it's done. So make sure you check in with your counselor, be in communication, cannot stress that enough. It's so important, especially senior year. May 31st, 2021, you'll need to provide a proof of your plan, whether that's an acceptance letter, a financial award letter, or if you have a job, a proof that you have a job at this moment. Juniors, you should have about 13 to 14 credits. What's really exciting about this year is that now you're considered an upperclassman or woman, and you will be taking the SAT at some point this year. And Khan Academy will help you perform well on the SAT practice. A lot of students don't take advantage of Khan Academy, so I'm here to, as a counselor, to say, please, 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 please take advantage of Khan Academy. It's free. It's there for you to help you practice, so that way when the test comes, you're used to the rhythm of the test, the time sequence, because it's timed, how many questions to expect, what type of questions there'll be on the test, different things like that. Naviance, this year we'll be working in Naviance again for different requirements for juniors as well to get ready for senior year. And this year is really important to do any credit recovery you may need, so that way senior year we're not scrambling to try to graduate last minute sometimes. Sophomores, you should have 6 or 7 credits at this point. This year is exciting. You'll be taking driver's ed, either first semester or second semester. The Constitution test again in U.S. history. We hear that a lot. Again, yes, again, you will have to take the U.S. Constitution test. And this year, at this point, you should have already done one service learning project in class last year as a freshman, or make sure you complete one this year as a sophomore. And always try to join a club or a sport as soon as we can be back in the building. It is a great opportunity. Freshmen, welcome. Like I mentioned before, you'll be taking 7 classes. And what's different for freshmen coming in versus grammar school is that there are 2 semesters. And at the end of around January will be the end of first semester, and you will get an official report card in January. And those grades are final, and those grades then produce a grade point average. And we'll get more into that or understanding of that as the year progresses. But the grade point average is then used for eligibility for scholarships, for college applications, internships, and different opportunities. So it's important, the higher grades you have, the higher your GPA. Higher GPA equals eligibility for scholarships and internships and college classes as well. And then there's tutoring available, and please take advantage of that as well. There's different student supports. There's Gear Up and Trio, and they work with students to support them in going to college trips, understanding of different scholarships. They come into the classroom as well for seniors and to support and be that bridge to the college or university experience and application process. We also have two programs called Becoming a Man, Working on Womanhood. Becoming a Man works with a group of young men, and working on womanhood working with women. And they both focus on learning more about yourself, self-awareness, decision making, and cultivating relationships with other students and others. Gats Hill is in the building, and they work with students on social emotional issues that they may have or support. And we also have a student voice committee where you can join other students who have issues that they would like to raise and find solutions for in the school. Just want to take a moment and focus on what we call is a growth mindset. So sometimes as humans, we sort of get stuck in like a thought that we think is true or believe is true or have come to accept these truths for ourselves. And sometimes we get so stuck and we start to see problems or issues with things, or we're quick to anger or feel like trapped, or you have no control. And so I just want us to think about what are ways that we can move out of those mindsets and find solutions, or find many times in talking about problems, you can find the solution or find solutions or try solutions. It won't always work the first time, but maybe a second time. Or instead of thinking, oh, this online is gonna be the worst, we could start to think about, okay, this online classes or virtual classes is a solution, a temporary solution. This is only temporary. This is only going to happen for a short amount of time or a short period of time. This is not forever. This is something new, just like it's new for me, it's new for the teachers, it's new for my parents, or my little sister, my little brother. If this is how I feel, imagine how others feel. Like, putting yourself in other people's places as well also helps create solutions. What can I do? Maybe, like I mentioned before, preparing your space, talking to a teacher, talking to your friends, talking to your counselor. So I hope that makes sense. And then if you have more questions, we can always talk more. Just some important dates I wanted to mention was the first quarter ends November 5th. And there are 4 quarters in a school year, and every quarter is about 10 weeks. So by November 5th, we will have had school for about 10 weeks, and a progress report card is given around this time, and is when parents are invited to talk to teachers and counselors and staff members about your progress, your students' progress. The progress report, these are not final grades. Just like in the name progress, it's just where are we at right now, 10 weeks. And this is just like a stick in the middle to say, okay, this is where your student is, and they have 10 more weeks to maintain their grade or higher their grade for final grades that are in January. Second quarter ends February 4th, and then third quarter ends April 15th. And around this last date, there is another progress report for the second semester. And then there will be final grades in June. So when we aren't back in the building, just want to always motivate people to join an after-school club or sport, or find something to volunteer your time. So important for you for so many different reasons, for you to get to know other people, learn something new, find your passion. Maybe you will get a mentor and your coach or club mentor. And then these people can write you letters of recommendation senior year when you're applying for college or for a job or for a scholarship or these are the wonderful memories you'll take with you from high school. I still remember my after school clubs and activities, and high school is really a fun time. And what makes it really fun is all the extracurricular things you do after school. So take advantage. We have lots to offer. Learn, plan, succeed. Let me see just. Okay. Learn, Plan, Succeed is an initiative to make sure that everyone has a plan of what they're going to do after high school. So whether that's the military, trades, college, university, or working. Everyone needs a plan of what they're going to do after they graduate high school, so senior year. So for my senior, that's just you will need to turn in, like I mentioned before, proof. And it could be, again, like I mentioned, an enlistment letter, date for when you're going to have your orientation for college or for your trades program or for a job or an internship or an apprenticeship where you're working along someone and learning from them. This is a requirement, graduation requirement. It is new. And so we bring it up every year so that everybody knows what's expected of them. Mr. Peñuelas will send a Condor report every couple weeks in your email, and in there will be an update on your grades and attendance. And once again, going back to that growth mindset, this isn't a like a catch me or why is he sending this again? It is a solution. Let's look at the solutions. This is a time for me to look at my grades and say, oh, I thought I was doing way better than this. Let me talk to my teacher. Oh, I have 20 tardies? That's not right. Let me talk to my teacher or the attendance office and get this fixed. Or maybe there was a misunderstanding, or I was late, but because couldn't find my class, and you said you were going to change my attendance, but you didn't change it. So these are solution-based conversations that are brought about by the Condor report. And then lastly, am I mentally and physically prepared to begin virtual learning? So this is just a moment for you to sort of check in with yourself and see how you're doing, how you're feeling. We talked about what the physical space could look like, but we haven't talked about mentally. Well, we kind of did a little bit, but I want you to take time to think about how are you feeling about this new school year. Are those thoughts coming from a place of fear, from a place of excitement, or from a place of I don't know what's going on. So everyone will be in a different place. Everyone will be reacting differently to e-learning. Everyone, even staff, this is new for us. This is challenging. Some people like a challenge. Some people don't. Some people like change. Some people don't. So check in with yourself and create solutions. And these are just some tidbits to survive high school, which I will give you time to read that. And then lastly, I just want to say have a great school year. Go Condors, and we'll be rooting for you.